No, although I have to say I'm always attracted to people who live lives quite outside my mine. Uh, people, people, so to speak, living on the edge of my experience. I mean, I would never go there, but it would be very interesting to explore it. I think that's one of the functions of drama, has been happening ever since the Greeks. Let's tell a story which hopefully none of us will have to experience in life, but let's see what happens to these people, how it is to be these people, how you get into a situation that these two, because remember the Mantle twins were well-known New York gynecologists, and that's who the story was based upon. I think they were called the Marcus twins in New York. And how do you get there? That for me is really interesting. And I think why, because it's interesting, I look back at the movies I've made and the subjects, and I think, whoa, God, they're all a bit on the edge, aren't they? But that's interesting. It's like going exploring, going to a foreign land. How is it to be inside that person, truthfully, without judging? That would be a really interesting adventure. So I'm attracted by subjects like that. I think for what any artist is trying to do is to, whether he be a painter or whether he be an actor or a writer, is to get to the core of existence, to mine in and in to those areas which we all share, which have nothing to do with the distractions of life and the world around us, but to get to some sort of vulnerable purity of emotion. And David is what I remember. I remember on Dead Ringers a scene where Beverly had to emotionally collapse. And we were in the studio and we did it a couple of times, and I was just nowhere near where I had to be. And I said to David, and this tells you the sort of relationship one has with a great director, rare. I said, David, would you fancy sending everyone off for a cup of tea? He said, sure. He said, give me a shout when you think you want to do it. So everybody went off to the buffet table, and coffee and whatever, and I sort of spent about, I don't know, not long, 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, getting to where I knew I had to get for the scene. And then I said to the assistant, let's start again. People came back. I did the scene in one take. That's the nature of it. Film is collaborative, and I think that's the word I would use most about my work with David, that it feels like a collaboration. And always working with the best directors feels like a collaboration. It may not be. They may be manipulating you to their heart's content, but if you don't know that, if it feels like a collaboration, that's when I'm happiest.